Yeah, Hussein. So in today's session, we will cover the subnetting. Why subnetting is required, as we know is about the IP addressing in the last session, right? So today we will understand the class A, class B, class C. This is we are using this, right? And the
Uh,
class every class, the INA is the organization who is taking care of this addressing. Okay.
okay, sir.
So class A, class B, and class C, it is given like free IP addressing, okay, which we can use generally in that our private network side, right?
Yes, sir.
By default value is a 8 for the class A. The CIDR value we are calling as a CIDR, classless inter-domain routing, okay. By
Okay.
default for class B is a 16, class C is for the 24. What it is what is the notification means notify this. This is indicate like 8 bit is using for the network, okay, rest 24 bit is using for the host, okay.
Okay, sir.
Here also 16 bit is for networks, 24 bit for network, okay.
Okay.
So remaining is 8 bit for a host in the class C. Remaining 16 bit is a host for the class B, okay.
Yes. Okay.
So why it is actually requirement? Okay, what is the reason of using this subnetting? Because of it is a free and we can easily use, right?
Yes, sir.
So there is two concept is coming in this. Okay, so classful network and a classless network. Classful means if it is in their real addressing, like CIDR is a class A is a 8, class B is a 16, class C is a 24, right? So we can say it is a classful address. Okay,
Okay, sir.
when you'll get name slash 10 12 14 like this now, then it is a classless, okay, because we someone is borrow to our host bit in a network side, okay.
Mm.
so
Okay, sir.
so by default is a 8 16 24 will call as a classful. If anything changement happen in that classless side, so
Mm.
so we can say it as a classless, okay.
Okay. Okay, sir.
So there is two way to to do the subnetting. First is the FLSM, second is the VLSM. So we'll just discuss about the FLSM today. Fixed
Okay.
length subnet mask. Let's suppose it will divide the IP in equal part. Okay, like you are
Right.
having a 10 and you are just you want to divide it with the five people, so everyone can at two, right? Everyone can get
Yes.
two, right?
Two.
So
Right.
like that, but no, but here we can't divide in unequal type. Like I'm having a 10, I can't divide is a six people, okay, or seven people, nine people, not like that, okay.
Okay.
So we can just whatever that IP will come, it will come in a equal portion, okay.
Okay.
Means I just wanted to divide one pizza in a four people, okay. Everyone will get one slice, okay.
Okay, sir.
So like that. So why is subnetting is a requirement? So let's suppose we how many IP required here. If you, this is your router one and this is a router two, both are connected directly, okay.
Okay.
And you have a two local area side, this side and this side, okay. So
Okay,
here
sir.
inside in this side you are having a 50 user, this side you are having a 60 user, and
Mm.
because both are connected directly, we will use we required one IP into this interface and this port,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yes, sir.
So only two IP is required, and we are using a class C. So how many total bits are wasting for us? If you check like 192.168.20.0, 10.0, 30.0, right?
Yes.
So in this, how many total IP is required, and how many uh, just a minute, huh? Just a minute.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so in this many for the 60 user, I'm using entire IP. In 50 user, I'm using entire IP, right? So it is just a completely wasting of IP, right? Because I require a 60 IP and I'm getting around 300. What is the IP total we can get in the class C slash 2 to power 20 2 to power 8, right? So 256 we can get, and minus 2, so 254 IP we can use, right? So we
Yes,
require
sir.
60 IP, but we are just occupying entire IP. Here also 50 requirement. Here also we are wasting IP. Here only two, but here also we are wasting entire 250 to 52 IP, because 2 IP we are using and 252 IP is wasting, right? Because
Yes, sir.
10, 20, 30 everywhere we are using the different. So to divide this in a requirement as per your requirement, okay. So for that you need to do some subnetting. Some calculation are there, like as we know, like IPv4 is having a 32-bit of address, right?
Yes, 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 sir.
32-bit address. So whenever you want, I will just use the single IP, okay, 192.168.20.0, let's suppose 20.0, and by using this I can also give IP to this one only and this one also, okay. I don't need to use 10 series and the 30 series IP, okay. By
Okay.
using a single IP I can provide all of my network, okay, IP. Even after
Oh,
providing the IP also, I can save some more IPs also for the future. Now look, our total IP is 60, 61 plus 50, 110 and 112 ho gaya,
oh,
like completely 112, right?
yes,
So
sir.
in this we are having a requirement is a 112 and we are having total IP is a 254, right?
Yes,
254
that is
IP.
correct.
Still we are wasting, right? But
Yes,
it is better than we are in there wasting different ranges also, right?
yes,
So
yes.
112 requirement, but we are having a
One
254, okay.
yes, yes, please.
So let's suppose we are just talking about the class C first, okay. Today we are just discussing about the class C for the understanding the way of subnetting. So to the power, so whenever you are having this kind of requirement, okay, you just understand first know whether which one is the highest one. So in our case 60 is the highest one, so
Yes,
highest one will just consider as a base, okay. Highest one will be your base, okay. once you
okay.
rec- once you start calculating for the 60, you'll get all this. For all this no need to again calculate for 50 and 22, okay. So our
Oh,
requirement, this is in our table, right? You know about the 2 to power 01 and 2 to
yes,
power 7 is the 128, right? So
yes,
our
sir.
where our requirement is getting to fulfill under the 2 to power 6, right?
So, yes,
If
yes,
it is a
sir.
base, then requirement is a 64 and
64.
64 minus 2, so we are getting total 62 IP, right?
Yes, sir.
So still we are getting 62 IP and still we are having a two more IP, because we'll use 60 IP and the 2 IP will be saved for the future, right?
Yes, sir.
So you just we are using 2 power 6. So just with the 32, you just minus a 6. Okay. So total subnet will be you'll get the total to 26. Okay.
Hmm.
The new CIDR value will be, by default CIDR value is a 24 for class C,
Okay.
right?
Yes,
So
sir.
we are borrowing 2 bit like this. We are having complete what? 10.0 slash 24, but we are here we are mentioning 26. Why?
26.
Because let's suppose 128, 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2,
Oh,
and
one.
1, right? So
Yeah,
2 to the
yes.
power 7, 2 to the power 6, 2 to the power 5, 2 to the power
5.
4, 2 to the power 3, 2 to the power 2, 2 to the power 1, and 2 to the power 0, right? So this is
Yes,
the
sir.
value. So now, as we know, like the octet format of class C, network.network.network.host, right?
First,
So
yes.
is this 3 octet is already reserved for network bit, right?
Yes, sir.
24, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
now we are borrowing last two one, right? Because our
Ah,
requirement is getting fulfilled under the 2 to power 6, right?
yes, sir.
So we need 24-bit already we are having. So we
Yes.
required what? 10.0.00000, like this is our another octet, right?
Yes, sir.
And the 8880, right? So
Ah,
when you are getting fulfill your requirement, so in our requirement it is our requirement is fulfilling by the 2 power 6. So uh, how many bits we are getting? We are taking from last octet 2 bit, right? 2 power 6 and 2
so,
power 7.
yes, sir.
Rest will be 0. This will become a 1 1 and rest will be a 0, right?
Sir, yes.
0 0 0.
Yes, there is.
So our sub CIDR value will be definitely changed, right? Because we already we are having a 24 plus 1 and plus 2 plus 1 means total 2, right? So
Yes,
it will be 26. Okay, this is our new CIDR
sir.
value.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yes.
now subnetting. Okay, like let's suppose in the same range 192.168.10.0 we are having a 24. Okay, now requirement is to make it as a increase the user increase the requirement so that user we can add more user, right? So in
Yes.
the same scenario, this is our magic table. Okay, calculation
Hmm.
table, and by default IP address is 10.0. By default CIDR is 24, and the by default subnet mask is a 255.255.255.0, right?
Yes.
Octet format is n.n.n.h.
And
N
okay.
represent the network, H represent the host, right?
Yes.
So by default, so there is a five easy step, okay, where you can do the subnetting. Okay, so first step, find the subnet mask place value. Okay, so if you are converting from decimal to binary, this is our decimal, right?
Yes.
So you just convert this into binary. Okay, so subnet mask, not this one, this subnet mask, just convert this. Okay,
Okay.
so when you're converting, all first octet is a 1, second octet is a 1, third octet is also 1, right?
Yes.
So n.n.n, and this is your host bit. Okay,
So yes.
so by default host bit, but 8 plus 8 plus 8 24. Now we are borrowing because our requirement is fulfilling in the 6, right? So in the
Yes.
last two we require to borrow from host to the network. Okay,
Oh.
so in this condition, when you are you're taking any borrowing any bit from any octet, so the octet will be count as the octet will become also a network bit. Okay, so that's reason this is a 1 and 1. Okay, rest is a host bit, and we know that ec2 is an on bit we are calling as a 1, off bit we are calling as a 0,
0.
right?
Hmm.
So total is 26, and requirement, how many bits we have for subnetting? Only 6
6,
bit.
sir.
One, two, three,
Yeah.
4. So now to the power 6 if you do, okay. So according to the output, you will connect the user. Okay.
Hmm.
So now the new IP, new subnet. This is our by default subnet mask, right? For the class C.
Yes.
So
Yes.
by when you're subnetting, you'll get first step. In first step, you'll get the new subnet mask. Okay.
Hmm.
How? 255.255.255, right? These two value, these two first and second bit value, like 128 plus 64 is a 192, right? 192,
Correct.
correct?
Sorry.
So the
Correct.
new subnet will be 255.255.250, right? 192. So we received our new subnet. Okay, we got our new subnet. Clear?
Hmm. Okay. Clear, sir.
Now second step. In second step, subnet finding. We just now find at the subnet, and second step. So before that, we have a here. This will call as a network bit. This entire bit will call as a network bit. Okay.
Yes.
This two bit will call as a subnet bit. This two bit. Okay. And this remaining bit
Okay.
will call as a host bit. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Clear?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, clear, sir.
Now there is an find the subnet network. So to the power s subnet network. How many new with the new CIDR like 26. Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
what is our how many bits we borrow? Two bits we borrow, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
2 to the power 2 equal to 4. So we
Oh,
can get four different IPs. Okay, four different
oh,
range of IP. Okay,
okay, sir.
we are getting equally. Remember, I told you in the beginning only that FLSM is we in FLSM will get equal only, right? Not unequal.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So now find the subnet host. Okay. So subnet host means how many bits we remaining? 6 bit, right? So
Yes, sir.
2 to the power h minus 2. Minus 2 why? For network ID,
Network
network
ID
ID
2.
and the broadcast ID, right?
Yes, sir. Network ID.
First ID and the second IP we never use, right?
Yes, sir.
Remaining will be a usable. So 2 to the power 6 minus 2 is 64 minus 2. So total number
So,
of valid hosts 62.
52.
We can use 62 we can connect 62 machine by this calculation. Okay,
Hmm. Okay, sir.
this is a third step. Okay,
Okay, sir.
now fourth and fifth step. 192.168.10.0, this is our base one. We are not going to discuss about this. It will come in every picture. Now the fourth step, find the subnet block size. Block size means 64.
Okay, sir.
Why 64? Because last bit value is a 64 here.
Yes, sir. 64.
Okay. So last bit, the borrowing from here. So if you are taking this is our last bit, then the value of this bit will become our block size. Okay. And if it is suppose 32, then our block size value will be 32. Okay.
Okay.
Block size means we in every IP we just need to calculate 8 60 plus 64. Okay. 64 in everyone. Okay. So this is our we got our in the fourth step we got our block size. Okay.
Okay, sir.
In the next, find the subnet network address. So how you'll calculate, like base network ID is in 192.168.10.0, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
So then plus 64, because this is our last one. So plus 64. So if you are
Still.
adding 192.168.10.10.0 to 192.168.10.63, okay, because 64 we can't use because it is our broadcast, right? And
On board broadcast.
192.168.10.1 also we can't use. So if you calculate, you'll use 62 IP only. Just a minute, huh?
Okay.
Be online, be on call.
Okay,
Just a
sir.
minute.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So after this, in everywhere we can add. We got our first network ID. Okay. In this network ID, in this entire source to destination, we can say, or starting to ending, we can add maximum 62 PC. Okay. So now new network
Hmm.
ID is a 64. Okay. Second, because new one is a 64. 10.0 by default we are having. So second one will add a 64. Then our new network ID will be 64. Last will be our 127, because 64 to, again, if you are adding 64, then it will be 128, right? So
Sir.
before one,
Yes,
last one will be 127, right?
yes, yes, sir.
So
Correct.
like that, this is our broadcast ID and this is our network ID. So remaining will be our valid IP. Okay, from
Okay, sir.
126. Okay,
Sir,
if you
one
calculate,
second,
you'll
sir.
get to 62 IP only. Sorry,
Sorry,
is it
sir.
clear?
1 second, sir. One second, sir.
Okay.
Sir, I'm here. I can hear me. Just continue her class. Just
No. Listen, 192.168.10.0. Any doubt on this?
no, no, sir. I'm here.
Here also 64. Again, you in the last octet, again you add to 64. Again you add to 64. If you adding again 164, 192 plus 64, okay, 192 plus 64, then it is a 6 and 9, and it is a 10 and 15, 5, and again you'll getting in 256. 256 is a invalid IP, right? Maximum
Yes,
255 is a valid only, right? So that's
yes, sir.
reason we can't add. Maximum we can go with the 255. If you calculate 192 to 254, not 255, because it's a broadcast ID. Okay, so
Yeah,
in
254.
between you can use 62 IPO. Okay, so now
Okay, sir.
what we get by subnetting, we received our four different by by one single IP, we break it in the multiple four pieces. Okay, now
Okay.
now now this one IP 10.64. Okay, 10.0 I can use for one network, like this router, and this is our router, right?
Uh,
And this is our local area site. This is our local area site. Here 2 requirement, here 50 requirement, here 60 requirement, right? As per the previous slide.
okay, sir.
So I will provide this one as a 10.0 to 10.63. In between only 62 PC can connect here. Okay.
Okay.
Again, second we are having second one from 64 to 127. Here also we can use a 62 PC can connect. I will assign to this one only, this side. Okay. Again, we are having a 128 to 191. Here also we can use a 62. I can assign to this one, but still our 60 IP is a wasting. Here, here we required a 50, but still 10 IP is 12 IP is a wasting. Okay, like that it is a wasting, but better, because in the previous slide we are using as a 10.0, 20.0, and 30.0. We occupying three network, right? Three different network ID. So better to save it by we just took this one as a base and break it in equally four parts.
Okay.
Okay, and we got in the last after the calculation we got four different network. So each network we can assign to this one, this one, this one. Okay, got it. So
Yeah.
subnet mask will be same for all. Okay, the
Okay, sir.
network ID is and the broadcast ID will be changed. Okay,
Change. Okay. Okay, sir.
so this is the way of the calculation how we are doing the how we are doing our subnetting. Okay,
Subnetting. Okay, sir.
so this is just a class C. We'll do FLSM for class A and class B by tomorrow. Okay,
Okay, sir.
first digest this and tomorrow we
Actually,
can
very
again.
confusing. Yeah.
If anything you can just send me the picture or tomorrow you can ask me. Okay,
Yeah,
I
sure.
will